Okay, here we go. Let's get this started. Hi everyone, welcome back to Augustina's Travels. Today I'm going to be talking to you all about the things that I wish I knew before I went to my first all-inclusive. All right, let's get straight into it. You might be bored. I'm not kidding you. You literally might be so bored out of your mind, just sitting on a beach, doing nothing, just drinking all day. If that's something you're not really into, I don't really know if an all-inclusive is for you, because that's what the majority of people do when they go on all-inclusives. If you're like a person that like loves activities, you know, you want to do like a little bit of water polo, some water aerobics or whatever, soccer, go to a resort that has a good activity team, because that'll literally make or break your trip. Especially if like you're just not trying to go lay on a beach and like tan all day. That's something like you really need to think about doing. Okay, so the next thing that I wish I knew was that not all inclusives will have top shelf premium liquor. So some resorts, like when I say top shelf, again, like I'm talking about like Don Julio, whatever, Patron, not all resorts carry those types of drinks. So if that's something that's like important to you, make sure you research and go to a resort that's gonna be able to offer you that. If not, maybe buy it in duty free and then bring it to the resort anyways. Another thing that I wish I knew was that not all resorts will let you go to the a la carte restaurants every single night. Some resorts actually have a cap on like how many a la carte restaurants you can visit during the week. So for example, like let's say you're going to an all-inclusive, it's for 1 week. Some resorts will be like, oh, you can only access 3 a la carte dinners your entire week you're there, and you have to make a reservation, and all the other times you have to eat at the buffet. So if a la carte dining is something that you're like, yes, when I go on vacation, this is super important for me and like this is what I need, do your research and go to a resort that's gonna have like a la carte restaurants that don't require like reservations and don't have like a cap or a limit. Another thing that's really important is your room selection. Whatever room you're gonna get, like whether it's the building or room category, might make or break your trip. If you're somebody that you're like, I wanna wake up and look at the beach, out of my balcony or whatever, make sure you book that type of a room. Also, you can actually upgrade sometimes when you get to the resort early enough. And if there's space, like they will let you upgrade. And sometimes you can actually get it a little cheaper than buying it initially, like when you book online. So if that's something that's important to you, make sure that you like factor that into your budget and your costs and whatever. I wish that I had known before going on my first all-inclusive that like you probably need more than 2 bikinis. And the reason why I say that is because like you're gonna be wearing them every single day. And majority of people that go on all-inclusive, you're going for a week. So make sure you pack like multiple bathing suits if you can. I know there's some websites that sell them for like $2 or $3 now. So like make sure you have options. Some people, what they like to do when they go to a resort is they actually bring like their own like thermos to like put drinks into it so that it'll be cold, because a lot of resorts actually just serve you drinks in like plastic, like little plastic cups, and then you have to like go up to the bar numerous times to like get your drink refilled, and it's super hot so the ice is melting and your drink's watered down. So like if that's something that's, I hate water drinks or whatever, make sure you go to like a Walmart or like a Target or something and get like one of those, they call them the Bubbas. I'll show like a picture here. Like you can take that with you to the resort and you basically give it to them and they'll fill it in with whatever drink you want. I would say bring like either a small sponge and like some dish soap so that you can like clean it, or you can ask them if they'll clean it for you. I don't know if they will, but you can try it. Make sure you budget for extras. A lot of people assume like, oh, I'm going on an all-inclusive and everything's like prepaid, I'm not gonna have to spend anything. Like that's wrong. Like you're probably going to spend money and you're gonna be like, wow, I did not expect to spend money, but you probably will. And when I say you probably will spend money, you might wanna buy something at the duty free, bring it to your resort. So that's something you're into, budget for that. Budget for excursions, because excursions are usually not included and you need to pay extra for that. Some resorts, they'll have like a lobster night or something, and that's usually not included in the main cost. So if that's something you're into, make sure you budget for that as well. Some resorts are really far from the airport. So if you want to get to your resort like ASAP as soon as you land, make sure you book something that's close, because I've heard of people who will like book a resort and then they'll sit on a bus for like 2 or 3 hours to get to the resort from the airport. And they hated that because they're like, oh, I just want to like get there and get on the beach. And then you have to think about like when you're leaving, that's another 2 to 3 hours drive. So like if that's something you don't want, like make sure that you book a resort that's going to be kind of close to the airport, or book a location that has like a lot of resorts that are near the airport. I would say you need to manage your expectations. Just because everything is included doesn't mean like you're automatically going to have like this fabulous time and you're going to get fed this amazing food. One thing that I think a lot of people forget is when you're going to an all-inclusive, they're trying to feed the masses. The majority of these resorts, they have like 10,000 people. Like, it's crazy. Like, they're huge resorts. The ones that are like attached to other resorts, and they're trying to cook for like a lot of people. So usually the food might not be the greatest. So you need to manage your expectations as well as with whatever you pay. Like, just manage your expectations, okay? Bring all of your toiletries before you get there. I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, they've got like shampoo there and they've got body wash. You don't even know if you like that brand. So I would just bring like your own travel size if you can, if there's like a certain brand that like you love or whatever. Bring that with you because sometimes the resort one might not be like the same quality that you like at home. Don't book too many excursions. And the reason why I say that is because you are there to rest and relax, and then you've got like all of these excursions that you've booked beforehand. Then you have to wake up and you've already paid for them and you have to go. So I would say if you can, like, do your research into what excursions you want to do, but like don't pay for them ahead of time. Just know, like, maybe reach out to the tour operator and be like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this tour. When can you tell me which dates of the week you run this tour? Get the information, and then when you're there, see how you feel and then book them. Because you never know, you might have like a night out in the town, and then the next morning, you know, you're like, oh, I'm not feeling well, I don't want to go do ATVs, but you paid for it. Now you gotta go, or you're gonna lose your money. So plan that accordingly. Don't be afraid to go off the resort. I remember how many people would tell me like, oh my gosh, don't leave the resort, it's so dangerous. That's not really true. Like, just make sure you use the same caution you would in your regular day, wherever you're from. And just like, you can explore. It's actually good to explore. And sometimes a lot of these places will have really fun nightlife events and live entertainment and live shows. And if that's what you're into, like, don't be afraid to do it. Just like book things ahead of time. Talk to the resort people who probably know other people that are like running these excursions and running these live shows and things like that. And I'm sure they can usually like get you a good deal. So like, don't be afraid to actually explore off the resort. Just make sure that you use your common sense and you're safe. Make sure you bring some dresses or something that's kind of like maybe semi-formal, especially for the men, because sometimes when you go to these resorts, some of those a la carte, they won't take you if you're wearing like a certain pair of shorts or exposing your shoulders or whatever. So make sure like you have options, because some of them are pretty strict and they're not going to let you in. Like if you've got like sandals on, maybe they only want closed-toed shoes, so you need to buy boat shoes. Make sure you bring options just in case you're going to go to like a fancier a la carte, or maybe you might go off the resort to have a dinner. So make sure you have options. Okay, not all resorts have like a 24-hour room service or 24-hour like food service in general. So if you're the type of person who might get hungry in the middle of the night, like 2 a.m., maybe you went out and you were partying or whatever, and now you're coming back to the resort and you're hungry, not all resorts are gonna have that. So if that's something that's important to you, make sure you do your research and make sure you think, oh, okay, I'm the type of person that maybe I want room service included. Like maybe I'm gonna wake up, later and I want breakfast in bed or whatever. Think about that when you're doing your resort research. Okay, and that's it. I hope that was helpful. If you're interested in receiving like a more detailed explanation on like how to book an all-inclusive, packing lists, etc., I actually have an ebook. I'll put the link below in my stand store, and go ahead and grab it. Let me know what you think about it. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. If there's anything else, like any other topics you want me to talk about, like just leave it in the comments. And of course, if you're into this content, like make sure you subscribe and follow. And yeah, chat again soon. Have a good day. Bye.